This is Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro. If you drive long haul, short haul, or heavy haul, they're here to empower and inspire women in the trades on tncradio.live. So gear down, sit back, and enjoy.
Welcome to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro. We're a show designed to inspire and empower women in trucking and the trades and everywhere with informative guests, experts, celebrities, and people who are champions for women. I'm Shelley and
I'm Kathy.
Every topic can be discussed on our rig, and we want women to be the best they can be. We like to interview experts who offer guidance to women on topics that empower them. Stacey Nemour empowers people everywhere as a flexibility and martial arts master. She's been a flexibility coach to top athletes, Olympians, professional dancers, Cirque du Soleil performers, and actors, helping them maximize their potential. Stacey began her career by achieving a black belt in Kung Fu. Flexibility coaching found her when top athletes and performers sought her out after seeing her kicking with a spectacular range of motion. Stacey specializes in a one-of-a-kind mind-body-spirit flexibility training that unleashes the highest potential in everyone who follow her step-by-step proven system. Stacey's appeared in the popular TV series Power Rangers as the guest lead. Self magazine featured her martial arts workout in the body bonus section. She's contributed to over 30 published articles to the Huffington Post on Kung Fu, meditation, flexibility, spirituality, health, and well-being. Welcome, Stacey. I'm so glad you're on the show. All I can say is, wow, I've looked at your website. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. And I am so grateful and happy to be here. And my heart is just bursting right now. And I'm just sending so much love to everybody, to you, and to everybody that's listening to this. I am so happy to be able to, if anybody can grab onto anything I say today that will improve them on any level, that's my intention today.
Well, I know for a fact it's going to help me. I can tell you that right now. So thank to have you as a guest.
Stacey, what got you into this? It's just amazing what an athlete you are.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. When I was a child, I had an innate inner knowing of how to get flexible. I knew the right sequence to do and exactly what to do. And I self-taught myself gymnastics, and then I later studied gymnastics and dance. When I got in my early 20s, I was asked to teach advanced Kung Fu students how to flip and do aerial cartwheels to put that in their Kung Fu sets. And the moment I saw that, I got goosebumps all over my body. And I knew Kung Fu would also be my life path. And back then, no women were really even doing it. And I knew it was time for a woman to trailblaze and get into the martial arts. So I studied with the best Chinese masters that I could find. And what I learned quickly is even though I was flexible and could do the splits and all the things on the ground, I didn't have the range of motion to get my kicks up sky high. So I created within myself lots of hours of practicing alone after taking a class or private. And I started to drill kicks, like putting ankle weights on my legs and going up and down like at a ballet bar. And that I created kind of a system of how to create that range of motion into my sport. And I was planning to be like a female Bruce Lee, but what happened is life had other plans, and people, pro athletes in LA would see me kicking and on the heavy bag at the top of the bag, and they'd be like, I need to get flexible like that. And so flexibility found me in that way. I still performed as a martial artist and teach Kung Fu, but flexibility I found was the missing piece for every athlete and even a regular person to perform at the highest level. And I learned quickly that was the reason people had back pain and shoulder pain. And so what happened is this guy was laying on the ground at some martial arts place where I was kicking and said, oh, my back. And I worked with him for just 5 or 10 minutes and he said, my lifelong back pain is gone.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I just knew what was needed. And then from there, the famous Brazilian Gracie Jiu-Jitsu team saw me kicking and they were like, Stacey, you are Kung Fu goddess. We need to get flexible. Can you come join us? And I was like, so I just joined all these this team of Brazilians and this very famous fighter named Victor Belfort. And in one session, I cleared his knee pain and he won every fight when I was with the team. So I realized as I started working with pro athletes and teams that they're all in the cave age on flexibility. And even yoga teachers I work with, I'm astonished, not that anybody doesn't do their art beautifully, but it's another wheelhouse, flexibility, the art and science of it.
Oh my goodness. And you've mastered it. There's a picture of you on your website doing a flexibility pose with your leg up over your head. And all I could think of is, how do you do that without breaking yourself? It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's also the mind controls the body. So whatever you believe about yourself or what is possible is exactly what you're going to experience. I've been doing this for 3 decades. And I'd like to say I started at 3 years old, but I didn't. So the funny thing is I don't believe in decline with my look, my body, anything.
Amen.
And I kick better 3 decades later than I did 20 years ago. And it's easier for me. And if you see those old Chinese masters that are like 90 years old and they're still flipping around.
Oh, yeah.
What happens is it's all energy. So I meditate and I've learned how to use energy and circulate it by keeping flexible in my mind and body. So we age and decline when we stop breathing, stretching, and keeping the energy open. And I always say, when we start slumping over with posture, that's the beginning of the end because your energy can't flow and the gravity is pulling you forward, forward, forward. So it actually starts with good posture, which is one of the things I'd like to cover today.
Oh, absolutely.
You're sitting there driving all those hours. So yeah, the energy can't flow the more you're not in alignment or your back is locked up.
I remember my mother was a big advocate of sit up straight. I mean, I had to sit up straight, and I learned to do that as a young child. And what is funny, years after being in high school, there was somebody who came up to me and said, you had the straightest posture in high school. I'm like, okay.
That is a really good training, though, because the good news is, if you ever had good posture, if you ever had the splits, if you were ever flexible, the body has memory.
Okay.
So you can gain it back quicker.
Okay.
My mom
How's your
used to
posture
make me
now?
walk with books on my head all the time, every day.
Yeah.
To keep straight and to keep graceful as I'm walking, right?
Oh yeah, that makes sense to me because I remember that back in the day that was the thing.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But what it is,
it worked.
I did that for voice training as well. And you, Stacey, I heard you ask, how's my posture now? It's still very straight. I mean, I try to sit up straight. I will remind myself when I catch myself slumping, because you can do that when you're working at the computer and that sort of thing. It's like, whoa, can't do this. Because when you get up, I think you're more sore and stiff if you aren't trying to flex those back muscles and extend your spine a bit. Would you agree with that?
Yes, exactly. And it's funny because you can hear in somebody's voice their level of well-being, energy, and youthfulness. And both of you have that. And it does connect to the way you speak. I work with singers and performers. And the first thing that happens is we gotta open up the heart and the chest and the breath.
Mm-hmm.
So then it comes out in a stronger quality of the voice.
Right.
And walking with books on your head, what that brings up for me is people who are afraid of falling and have balance and core strength issues is it starts with posture, because if you're on top of your body, the books can balance and your center of gravity is centered right, and you're not
Hmm.
pulling forward or to the left or to the right, leaning.
Right.
So yes, it's in sitting all day, one would benefit by stretching and opening the shoulders and the heart and the chest. And I do this stretch in a doorway where you put your hands out on each side and your elbows on the side of the doorway,
Hmm.
and the thumb with the fingers, and inhale. And as you exhale, go forward in the doorway, and let that chest and heart open.
I would think your
That's a good
stretches
one.
too help with the vertebrae. People get collapsed discs. What is it? Is people get older, they say, you get shorter. I don't think that
Hey,
necessarily has to
Yes.
I lost
happen.
2 inches. Never mind.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I designed also a Stacey posture strap when I got injured. And you know how inventions come from necessity, like there's always an opportunity in an
Mhm.
injury.
Yep.
And I designed one that the moment people put it on, their heart and chest open and the pressure goes off the neck, and they immediately look different and look taller. And it gives you an instant breast lift, which is always
A
incredible.
bonus.
Ooh,
Pull
that's
that
a
up
bonus.
naturally,
Yeah.
right? It gives you a waistline, but that helps to create the muscle memory um, as well. But yes, if you stretch and open up your entire body, your posture immediately shifts, and people start to get that bump in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and that can be reversed. This is the good news: is anyone at any age can increase their flexibility with the right system, and the body knows how to heal itself in the right condition. So do not think you are doomed for any pain or anything that's been happening with your body.
Hmm.
You can reverse it.
Stay tuned for more of Women Road Warriors coming up.
Industry movement Trucking Moves America Forward is telling the story of the industry. Our safety champions, the women of trucking, independent contractors, the next generation of truckers, and more. Help us promote the best of our industry. Share your story and what you love about trucking. Share images of a moment you're proud of. And join us on social media. Learn more at truckingmovesamerica.com.
Welcome back to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro.
Drivers definitely can benefit from this because just the nature of the job creates pain. Being in
Oh
a seated
yeah, it hurts
position.
It
my
is.
body thinking of it. If that's all you do, but it,
Operating the equipment where we work is so rough, and people are the common thing is back issues. Like that dozer that I'm going to start training on here in a couple weeks is unbelievably brutally rough. And a lot of the operators, they complain about back issues, but the thing is, nobody wants to invest in themselves enough to make the necessary changes that goes along with it. Like example, I noticed I'm 53 now, and I'm things are, I'm tired. I've been doing this for 9 years, and I get sore, and I instinctively knew that I need to start yoga. I need to help myself get to that next level. And if I want to remain alert and flexible and feel good, and man, I started this about 6 months ago, and what a difference does that make in my day. I'm not no yoga queen by far, and definitely no graceful swan. I'm one of those people that's constantly falling over, and I'm swearing, I'm like, how the heck do they do that? But I keep doing it.
but you get better. You just start right where you are. And
Right.
that's the thing. And the
Sure.
first day of any program is the hardest,
Yeah.
but the body will process. And what I'd like to say too is, I'm sure you know this, but the less you do physically, the more
Mhm.
tired you are
Yeah.
That's right.
and the
Yeah.
less alert. And you know what? Sitting that long, things begin to atrophy
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we
very
think about it. We
quickly.
work 13 hours a day for 2 weeks straight, every day. That's all we do. We get off that truck maybe twice a day for lunch breaks, or sometimes you don't even, if you get break on truck, then you just lay there and you sleep for 20 minutes, right? So there's literally zero motion. So unless you force yourself, and you're tired by the end of the day because it's so mentally
Exhausted.
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
I have to
Yes.
push myself to go to the gym before work or after work, or go for, when I say go to the gym, I mean a 30-minute run or 45 minutes or stretching
Something.
or
Yes.
right,
Yes.
something.
Movement.
Yeah.
But most
So
people don't.
yes. And what I would suggest too, at the very least, when you get to your hotel room, before bed, lay down and put your legs up on the wall, on
Mm,
the bed.
Okay.
okay.
Put your feet up and the legs up, and let the energy, the flow, the circulation go through, and do some deep breathing, and maybe meditate and decompress, and
Mhm.
just let the body come into balance. I also would suggest to do it in the morning if you can, because there's more energy in the morning
Mhm.
to work out, because that'll set the tone of your whole day if you can.
It does. I usually work out in the morning. It just,
And then your head is fresh and your
yeah,
mental and emotional state is better for,
and I have energy for the day. Yeah.
yes.
I
And it puts you in your body. And people who also, meditation is so good.
Oh, it is.
And
Oh,
people
yeah.
who say they don't have time to meditate, actually need to do it, because it actually will make it'll line up the energy of the day, and things will get done much easier in a shorter amount of time because of the coherence and the balanced emotions. So also, sleep is very, very important, because that's when the body recovers for those long days. And if you can manage your energy too by going to bed a little earlier and maybe waking up earlier,
Mhm.
that makes a huge difference. And also, the foods you eating foods that heal, will really help balance the energy and reduce the fatigue.
What kind of foods would those be?
Um, Clean foods that don't raise the glycemic level index. So cutting out sugar
Mm-hmm.
and breads, things white,
Mm-hmm.
and eating more high protein but clean protein, not meat protein, like a pea protein, and fruits and vegetables, foods with a lot of high water content in them.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
And
we need water.
yes, hydration,
Mm-hmm.
and not relying on, and plan out your meals. So it's easy when you're on long trips to numb out and just grab whatever. But if you could plan out your meals and eat every 3 to 4 hours, something that balances the body and the mind, so you're not ravenous when you get to a stop,
Mhm.
if you wait to eat all at once, because
Sure.
that makes the body tired too, overeating a really heavy meal.
Oh, and it's easy to do when you're really, really hungry. And well, that's why
Yes.
I avoid going to the grocery store when I'm hungry, because I spend too
Yeah, no
much.
kidding, eh?
Yes, or just create a list and stick to it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Also, coffee, I would avoid relying on coffee to get you through. I am a coffee drinker. It's very healing. Have it in the morning, and then
Oh,
I cut
good.
it off at a
There's some
certain.
people that demonize coffee. I'm glad you say it's healing. This is
Oh
good, 'cause
gosh, I
I love
love
my
it. It
coffee.
is, yeah, it is, and they've proven if you do it 20 minutes before a workout, it'll enhance that. For me,
Oh,
for my sleep though, I have mine in the morning, and then I switch to decaf later on, because I like that that feeling of it in my body and the warm drinks. I switched to this a low acid antioxidant coffee called Teeman's coffee. It's got matcha in it and goji and low acid. But you know, coffee takes you straight up and down. This gives you a gentle 5-hour release because of the matcha in it.
Oh, interesting.
And it is the best tasting coffee I ever had. So not all coffees are created equal. That makes a difference to me. So if you could look at just planning and researching foods that heal or that feel good for your body type, and stock up on that and have that on hand.
Makes sense.
Also, and also you don't want to get too dehydrated by drinking too much coffee all throughout the day too.
Sure, because it's a diuretic for sure. You know,
yes.
I also had a question. I had heard from doctors and so forth that we have more fluid in our discs in the morning. Would it be better to do some stretches in the morning to take advantage of some of that? And I'm not always sure that the medical community understands the flexibility and so forth in our vertebrae.
Yes, exactly.
Is it true that our discs kind of shrink, or the fluid does, over the course of the day just because of gravity?
Yes and okay. I like to wait till I'm awake a little bit, have my coffee and stuff to get my body temperature up.
Okay.
You notice when you wake up, your back's kind of stiff, and then a little while later, it kind of releases. This is my answer to that. Everyone has a body clock. Some people like to work out in the morning, some later on. If you're more inclined to do it at a certain time of day when you feel you're peaking, listen to your body's inner knowing.
I agree 100%.
Makes sense.
Yes. So, because the body knows, and everybody's wired a little differently. Some people can exercise in the evening and sleep perfectly well. For me, I like to do it mid-morning and get it out of the way before I have a business meeting, work with a client, do anything, because then I've taken care of me. And then after that, I have everything to give to the world. But you can only take care of others or your job or whatever you're doing as much as you take care of yourself.
Sure.
Yep.
The reason my system works is what makes it different from yoga or other things is the sequence. Most people go straight for the hamstrings and they're reaching for the toes and they're like, oh, okay, I'm hopeless. I'm done.
Plus, it's painful.
It's very painful, and it should not be painful. So this people do not know the sequence of how to stretch in the right order. You must open up your back. Everything stems from the back, and your waist and your quad and your calf first and your hips. You have to release that back. Then you can go forward and stretch your hamstring. So anyone out there that has tried stretching is just painful because people do not know where to start, and it's not your fault. And I have found anyone of any age, they just don't know how, but there's a more flexible person waiting inside everybody, waiting to come out.
Stay tuned for more of Women Road Warriors coming up.
Trucking Moves America Forward, or TMAF, is building a positive image of trucking by telling the story of the hardworking drivers and industry professionals who support the industry. And you can be a part of it. Learn more about TMAF and how you can join and be a part of the industry movement working to build a strong image of trucking by visiting TMAF's website at truckingmovesamerica.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our latest channel, TikTok.
Welcome back to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro.
People call my system like a Discovery Channel day. Even I'm talking about top Olympians that are very, very tight for track and field.
Sure.
They're very locked up in some areas. And it's like a Discovery Channel day because things are actually laying dormant that have been locked up for many, many years. So it creates an awakening, and the emotions are stored in the body. So a lot of times when people do my system work with me or even do my online course, they cry. And it's beautiful because that's finally can be let go to be healed. So the pain in different areas of your body is also emotional and mental and spiritual stagnation of accumulation of holding on to old worn out things.
It's very true. So just by achieving this flexibility, I would think you'd have more endurance, you'd feel better, and you're going to be less likely to fall down.
Yes.
So many people think, well, I'm just getting older, and they accept this. And
the body's listening.
Yes.
The body says, oh, I am? Okay, I know what to do now. I'm going to give you a couple more gray hairs and make it so you can't pick something up off the floor. It's what you really believe. And we expect to decline, and it happens. And another reason my system works is it's the breathing. So I have people breathe in through their nose down to the very bottom of the spine, and then mentally tell the low back to let go before you exhale out of your mouth. So if you inhale and go into a stretch, and then your exhale is just a tiny little exhale, barely anything, that's how far forward you will go. So you time your exhale to get to your destination. So that plays, yes, that's a big secret of my system. So the breath with intention makes that happen.
I'm going to definitely try your whole system.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I am. Oh my God.
Thank you. So I do have online courses that you can do from your hotel anywhere and anywhere. And I use walls to support the body, to keep the back out of it. So you can have your own little flexibility training area. That's all you need. I created a Stacey stretch strap with all these loops that you put behind your back and on your foot. So you're not, gone are the days of pulling down with a towel or belt on your foot. And it'll guide you with clean alignment. And so all you need is a couple of things that will help support is a few yoga blocks, a stretch strap, and my posture strap. And I created a little flexibility kit, and I ship them all over the world, which is just the best feeling to me. Because you don't need all these expensive apparatuses anymore. Remember the Chuck Norris straddle stretcher thing?
Yeah.
Well, it's like sometimes we have the deck on my truck is 30. You can fit 30 people on it, right? And it's got railings all around. So I often do push-ups off the railings, and I'll do squats, and I'll do stretches, like leg stretches.
You're creating the gym right where you are.
Yeah.
You are your own gym.
And my work boots are heavy, so when I'm doing leg raises with my boots, right, those are my weights. Right?
Oh my gosh,
that's great.
So here I am in my coveralls and work boots doing kicks. Right?
That's fabulous.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, you got to use what you have. And so I'm going to try and integrate, once I sign up to your course, I'm going to try and integrate it with what I have in my work environment. Right?
Yeah, I have 6 free mini courses on my flexibility makeover site. One is a 5-minute, it's free, to a 5-minute chair flexibility workout to open the hip and the hamstrings and the back that you could do anywhere.
So today, how long do you stretch a day still, even though it's been 30 years?
Some days I do just a full flexibility training workout. When you do it right, it's a workout within itself. Sometimes even an hour. And my courses, some of them are an hour and a half, because once you open the quad and the waist and breathe in this, I don't want to stop. I don't want people to
Right.
stop. I want them to get to the hamstrings in the right sequence.
Right.
And I created short programs too for people that are short on time, but I always want them to experience at some point the full system and then do the shorter variations so you can experience everything being opened up. And what this will do is keep you doing your beloved sport or art till you leave the planet. If you're a runner, this will keep you from getting injuries. If you're a tennis player or any martial arts or going, it's good to even do before yoga because your body will be opened up to finally do those positions. But the number one thing is injury prevention. Is the most important thing. 98% of injuries are due to a lack of flexibility and mobility.
Why is it we lose that? Is it just because we are told we're supposed to?
It's because they've raised the bar on every sport and yoga. You know, you see in America's Got Talent, the bar goes up. That's very, very high level.
Right.
But I work with children from age 7 to 95 plus, and they all need it. So
Interesting.
if you're a little dancer, even the very flexible ones, I'm flexible, I don't need it. I find they're compensating. They can get their legs certain ways and they compensate in other areas are completely locked up. So even hypermobility people need it because they're compensating in some way.
Okay.
But I think in this day and age too, we're hunched over all the time on our phones, on the laptop.
Text neck.
Yes, exactly. And we're moving less. And because people get very addicted to their phones and social media and moving less and breathing less.
Yeah. Well, I remember stories of my grandfather. He was, I think, in his early 80s, and he was helping my dad put in a patio, a cement block patio. But he was used to getting out and doing stuff every single day. I'm sure that kept him flexible.
Yes, it's also his state of consciousness.
Sure.
And I worked with somebody the other day who's 73 years old, and for the first time in his life, touched his toes.
Oh, wow.
And that's what happens a lot with me. So people who couldn't even do something 25 years ago can do it now because they have the right system, the right sequence, the right breath. And I also, setting the intention and believing, doing it open-heartedly and believing that this is possible plays a big part in it. But it's not painful. That's another thing. Flexibility training, stretching should not be painful. It should feel like a workout, like something's happening on a deep level. You feel it the next day, like you worked out, but you also will burn more calories if you're more flexible, if you're lifting weights or doing anything, because your range of motion will immediately increase. But I talked to this man at 73 because he's like, yeah, I'm in good health and stuff, but I'm programming for the next 20 years. And he took up golfing 3 years ago. And I said, yes, your flexibility is youth. So you always want to be able to pick up something off the floor without pulling your back or your hip out and reaching for the top shelf and being able to do your golf and your walks. And he said he had a new lease on life and was just now going to take up Tai Chi.
Wow.
So always be open to learning new things. It takes you out of your tiny little small world, that we feel safe in.
Sure. A lot of people get stuck in a rut.
Yes. Open your mind and new things.
Absolutely.
That, breathe new energy into your life. And you can program at any age. Who do I want to be going forward?
Excellent.
Stay tuned for more of Women Road Warriors coming up.
Industry movement Trucking Moves America Forward is telling the story of the industry. Our safety champions, the women of trucking, independent contractors, the next generation of truckers, and more. Help us promote the best of our industry. Share your story and what you love about trucking. Share images of a moment you're proud of. And join us on social media. Learn more at truckingmovesamerica.com. Kathy Tuccaro is nothing short of amazing. She not only drives the world's biggest truck as a heavy equipment operator in northern Alberta, Canada. She's an international motivational speaker and the author of Dream Big, an autobiography about overcoming a lifetime of trauma and abuse that led to dreams of success. Kathy inspires people the world over to change their lives and improve their self-worth. Her book will change your life. She's passionate about personal growth and believes anyone can change their circumstances and overcome their obstacles if they believe in themselves. Her life will amaze you and seriously inspire you. Be sure to order a copy of her book, Dream Big, on Amazon.com.
Welcome back to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro.
Now, would you say that this flexibility training also maybe helps reverse some aging?
Completely.
Okay.
It does on so many levels. And the way you walk and stand and carry yourself changes so much. And as we talked about, even the way you speak, the level of energy in your voice. But I've seen it over and over again. I have thousands of testimonials and before and after pictures where in one session, at any age, they barely touch their toes and then they're down. And a lot of, the butterfly wings, they can't sit crossed legs. The knees are almost up to their shoulders. Yeah. And in one session, I have them to the ground or almost to the ground, completely released because that's coming from the low back. So,
wow.
and there is an instantaneous healing that happens because again, I can't stress enough, the body knows how to heal itself with the right mindset and in the right setting. So yes, you can reverse all of that.
Doesn't it maybe clear your lymphatics and also help get rid of prostaglandins that cause pain and that sort of thing?
Yes, it opens everything. I recently worked with a woman who was in great shape, but always exhausted and had asthma. And I was looking at her and I could see her breath didn't go much lower than the top of her, right below the neck, right around the sternum. So even higher up, no, the collarbone. I could see the breath going just below the collarbone and her breathing. She had been breathing in fight or flight mode for many, many years.
Wow.
So there had been stressors in her life that she hasn't healed and still living in the past that's still happening. And that manifests as asthma and exhaustion. One session I got her breath down to her belly finally was filling up. And after that, we did 3 sessions. After the 3rd session, the fatigue was all gone and the asthma was gone.
That's amazing.
That's so interesting. My mother has the same exact thing, like extreme exhaustion, and her asthma acts up when I find she gets stressed out, and then all of a sudden. So I'm going to be bringing that to her when I go home tomorrow. My gosh,
it's the breath.
Yeah.
So what happens is our stressors over the years is our chakras, our acupuncture system gets blocked. And the energy stops flowing and it manifests as aches and pains and things. And also this man that I worked with the other day, he had a lot of arm pain with this golfing, and he thinks it was the where your pain isn't exactly where it originated from. So I traced it back to the shoulder, to the neck, and behind the shoulder blade, and the whole line going down the back. So there's these lines nerve lines where it travels, or, sciatica travels down the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to open up the back and the whole spine and the
Sure.
waist
Right.
first. And then I also look at people's feet, because those are your little tires,
Yeah.
and you can't do well on a flat tire or leaning on one side. So I also do that in stretching, because people will stretch their hamstrings or their legs with their foot always turned out or rolled in. And when your foot's rolled in, the outer part of your leg never gets stretched. So I clean up that too, to get the energy going through the legs.
So
Interesting.
we have about 5 or 6 minutes left. Are there
that went so fast.
I know.
I know. Gosh.
Are there
I guess that's a good thing.
Absolutely. I mean, this is really fascinating, Stacey, and it's really something that's going to inspire and help a lot of women. Do you have maybe a couple of things that some of our listeners could try before they contact you, just to see what you're talking about and how they can maybe gradually, just baby steps, feel better?
Be aware of how you're sitting, and how are your shoulders when you're driving? Are they down, or are they up near your ears? And do you feel pain while you're driving? And I would really adjust myself so that I'm sitting up straight, and I would listen to my body. Where is my body talking to me? I always say, what's trying to emerge, what's trying to come up to be healed. And I would start by breathing into that area, perhaps even before you get into the truck, and sitting up and just breathing into that area and putting your breath there and sending a massive amount of love, and then exhaling and feeling that energy moving out. So breathing in through your nose and then exhaling out of the mouth. I would start with that, and just tuning in to what's my body trying to say to me. And you can go to my flexibility makeover course and do the 5-minute free. I have some free mini courses where you can sample. The 5-minute one is really good with the chair. And then there's a relieving back pain one that's free. You're laying down and you putting your legs up, and they're bent up like on a chair or a couch underneath you. You want to be scooted all the way in, and then start to do that intentional breathing and letting things go mentally, emotionally, and physically. So the thing is I want to help every single person listening. I'm just sending that love and the light that please just try these things and start stretching, with me or somebody else. But I do have the proof and the authenticated results for 3 decades of everyone that does try my system and follows it wholeheartedly. It don't skip anything, because there's a reason for every stretch, the way the body mechanics works.
Well, and you're certainly a walking, talking example. What you can do is just amazing in terms of flexibility and endurance.
Well, you've seen my picture. Yeah. I kind of keep it a secret, but I'm feeling right now I should. I just turned 60.
Wow.
And people think I am in my 30s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I jump higher than I've ever jumped. I'm in negative splits, and I work with young Olympians and ballerinas, and I do everything with them. I just did master classes with figure skaters. I'm not one of those coaches that say, "Oh, do this," and I'm sitting down all out of shape. Yeah. But my point of my brand is the best way to teach is just be it.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh, you're my hero.
And be as authentic as you can. And I'm just speaking my truth from my heart. So that will hopefully resonate. And what happens is everyone that finds me, they're ready. So
like me today,
when
right
you're
now.
ready.
Yeah.
It resonates if you're ready. If you're not ready, you'll go, "Oh God, whatever." It's too much. But that's what I've noticed is people are energetically ready on so many levels. when they find me. And many people have come to me, they're burnt out. They've tried every healing modality, PT, unnecessary surgeries, and they come to me and it finally they cry because they finally found it. So it's never too late. And most surgeries are not needed.
You know,
you need to heal. It's you stop putting band-aids on these things with cortisone shots and this and that. Yeah, I do want you out of pain, but you got to go to the core of what is it, because the medical industry is designed to want to get you on pharmaceuticals and unnecessary surgeries.
Yeah. And that can cause more damage.
Yeah. And then it leads to other things happening. Yeah, it spreads. Because disease is a dis-ease. Get to the core of it. You know, what's going in the emotions. So you can live the most beautiful truck driving, badass, beauty badass life.
Yeah.
You know, but be able to climb up on that truck, you know, like a kung fu goddess.
I love it.
You know, I think
light and live it and let's bring the new paradigm, as we talked about, of women being truck drivers, doing a beautiful calendar like they do with those firefighters. Doing beautiful calendars, being an inspiration of being also feminine and beautiful, but coherent and aligned and flexible and strong but soft and you know, shining your light so bright. Let's bring a new paradigm to that world, because you are so needed. And by opening that up, people will see this and bring appreciation to what you do. But it has to start within each. You have to be the change you want to see within each one of you.
Amen.
By being who you want to be and seeing how you want to be perceived and shining that out.
Yep. And
bottom line is start where you're at.
Yep.
Just
start wherever you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it's never too late. But take care of yourself, so your quality of driving is a joy, and you're feeling that energy. And this podcast and this station that you are shining out is making such a huge difference, because we have to protect our consciousness at all cost. Do not listen to anything while you're driving that causes a downward spiral.
I agree, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Point.
And I do a lot of listen to audiobooks even before if I'm going to sleep. I'm listening to something very spiritually uplifting. Doesn't have to be, just something very positive. I usually pick the most monotone voice I can find on those audibles to just knock me out, because what you think about before you go to sleep marinates all night.
Sure.
But because you're sitting there and you're kind of a captive audience, but you do have free choice, listening to this podcast of things that inspire and lift up changes your outlook. So all healing is a change in perspective. So use that time wisely on the road to, you know, of what you listen to and what you think about. And by sending appreciation to yourself and all that you have, creates more of it.
Absolutely. Stacey, you're changing the paradigm for people. You really are.
Thank you. I feel I am bringing the new paradigm for how we look at flexibility, aging, and injury prevention, injury recovery.
It's inspirational, and it's stuff that people aren't hearing from doctors who are just saying, "Oh, well, look at the calendar. This is your age." It's like, no, not at all. You're proving that age is a state of mind, and there is a quality of life that people can have, and this is
we're living longer, so there needs to be a solution to balance that. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What kind of quality of life do we want to have?
Right.
And so, I am bringing the new paradigm, and that's why I love working internationally and reaching people all around the world, because we're all one, and we're all rise together.
So where do people find you, Stacey?
My website's flexibilitymakeover.com and staceynemour.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, please, and then you'll see all the crazy wazy before and afters. And when I first started posting, people were going, "That's fake," and people would write me, "I'm a doctor, and that's physically impossible." And I go, "Sorry, but I cannot doctor thousands of before and after pictures and course testimonials.
Yeah.
I'm not that good at Photoshop, and you can see in the before and afters, the lighting's weird." You know?
This is revolutionary. It's awesome. I just
Yeah,
love
I
this.
just added you on Instagram. I'm
I
Blue
gave
Star
you a
Blogger.
follow already, so you can find me and you can see me doing all my things. And if you have, please reach out to me, anybody listening, if you don't know which course, free email consultation of what's best for you. I do privates. You could do them from your hotel room. But at the very least, please order the posture strap, because you'll feel an instantaneous healing when you put it on. And it will spot you so you can create new muscle memory, and will keep your shoulders and everything where it needs to be.
Excellent.
All
Thank you
right.
so much, Stacey, for being on the show. This has been great.
You've been just my total inspiration that I needed today, and I am so signing up for your stuff. So much.
Yeah, reach out to me. I feel this was very meant to be. That
We
this
do too. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you so much for
Yeah.
giving me this time.
Oh,
Yes,
you're
thank you,
welcome.
Stacey.
Thank you for helping every single person that's going to be listening to this.
Yes. Stacey, you're a godsend. Thank you so much for your insight.
You've been listening to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro. If you want to be a guest on the show or have a topic or feedback, email us at info@tncradio.live.
Thank you for listening to another great interview on tncradio.live. All of the material you hear on tncradio.live, on our website, our broadcasts, or our podcasts are copyrighted. There can be no distribution without the express consent of tncradio.live and its partners. For inquiries, write us at info@tncradio.live.